Hey everyone, it's Monica. Welcome back to Artsy Bits, my channel where you know there will be creativity, but you're not sure what that creativity will be. Yes, that's a Star Wars tin, and we're going to get into it today. So as you know, if you've been watching my recent videos, I'm just on this kick of reworking my art supplies to make them more usable for me, so that I'm grabbing for them more, so that I'm actually using what I have. I don't want to keep anything that I'm not using. I want to pass it on to someone else. So recently I created this little travel tin in this Super Spy kit, and I'm just thinking maybe it'll fit into one of these other tins. I went to Goodwill and I just found some tins that were a little bit smaller, and I'm thinking that I want to use this Star Wars one if I can for these little watercolors here. So it won't fit in just rows of two, but as I did some experimenting here and kind of flipped the pans around, you guys, I got so excited. It fits. And so you can see me as I'm doing this. I'm just hoping and hoping and hoping that it's going to work. Excuse the little hand that snuck in there. That was my daughter checking out the My Little Ponies tin there. She was absolutely excited about that. So now that I know that those fit in the Star Wars container, I'm going to go for it, you guys. That's awesome. I love putting things into containers that's smaller and more compact and better. And check it out. I mean, this is like a third of the size of that Top Secret Spy Kit tin that I was using. That tin is still pretty cool. Might use it for a project later, but I think I'm going to be working on putting those travel ones into the Star Wars tin. So keep watching. That Star Wars tin will be great too because I can add it to other containers as I travel as needed. Now, the other thing that I wasn't exactly too happy with was my last video about my Kuretake watercolors. I kind of put them into this tin on the left, and I don't know, I didn't love it. So I went ahead and picked up this other tin at the thrift store, this Crayola tin on the right. It's shaped about the same size, but it's just a little more shallow and it's square instead of rectangle. And I'm just going to do some experimenting here and see if I can get things to work out well for me in this new tin. Now I'm trying to do this and also preserve the swatches that I had made, which later on in the video you'll see I just scrapped them. But this is even a better sized tin in my opinion, and so I'm kind of excited about it. Now I did realize I don't want to put any watercolors on the lid there. As you saw when I tipped it upside down, one of them fell out. That's the last thing you need is watercolors just jumping around and sliding everywhere. How annoying. So instead I'm going to definitely be using the base of this container. I'm just doing some measuring right now to see how many I can fit. And it looks like I can fit a full 24 in the base here. So I'm definitely excited by that prospect to get rid of some of these little tins that I was striving to use in my last reworking of these Kuretake watercolors. This is awesome. I can fit 24 of these on the base, and then I'm just left with 12 more of these watercolor pans that need a new home as well, and I know I don't want them on the lid. So I'm experimenting here with thinking about putting them in these smaller tins again and just maybe reworking it a little bit. So again, I'm still trying to save these swatches. By the end, I end up scrapping them, but it's all a process, and that's what this whole channel is about, is just my artistic process. Also, are you like me where you like to watch people play with their art supplies? I love it. I love watching people reorganize. If you don't enjoy it, you may just want to click off this video and go watch something else. But if you're into it, I'm into it, and I love sharing the process. So basically what I decided to do, since I'm going to have 36 in the bottom and 12 in these other tins, was I decided to go ahead and rework the colors that I have in the bottom of the tin, of the main tin, and make those maybe sort of more of my more commonly used colors and put my less commonly used colors into the tins. So I'm sort of reworking, regrouping some colors, moving stuff around, definitely slowly but surely realizing I'm going to scrap those swatch cards and start over. But you guys, this is all part of my process, getting ready so that I can just reach for things and they're usable and they're easy and they don't bug me. That's a big thing for me, is I just want my art supplies to look pretty, and I want them to be very usable and fun, and I want to enjoy reaching for them, grabbing them, and using them. This Florida tin I just think is so adorable, and I can't stop hoping and thinking that it's going to work one of these days for one of my art supplies, but today's not the day. It's just not going to work out with this current setup. I even thought about this My Little Pony tin, which is so cute. Could I get the last dozen of these paints in there? And the answer is just no. I'm going to go ahead and just use 4 of these little tins instead. I even tried to fit the other lid in there. The answer is no again. Sticking with the 4 small tins. And that's what I ended up with, you guys, as I continued this process and got it all ready. I ended up using 1 tin for kind of turquoisey colors that aren't very natural, and then 1 tin for super, super dark neutrals, 1 tin for metallics, and then 1 tin for my white and my dark brown and my black. I figured those are kind of the colors that maybe I won't use quite as often, or if I do, I can just reach for them and pull them out. So as you can see, I'm measuring here for some swatch cards, and I'm going to be getting them ready. I'm just starting fresh, you guys. And I know sometimes it's just a process to get to the point where you figure out what is going to work for you. And I'm still fairly new at this, so I hope that this is helpful to someone and someone can use some of these tips and tricks to organize their art supplies in a way that's better for them. I think my main motivation was I just wasn't using these and I want to be using them. So I pulled out some of these magnetic sheets here and cut them down to size. My whole idea was to magnetize these swatch cards and put them in the lids of the watercolor tins that I am creating. And you'll see here that for the Star Wars tin, that does not work. There's a couple things here working against me, but really the main one is that the tin itself is very textured, so the magnets are not close enough to the actual tin surface to work. So what I did instead was just added it in using some washi tape, and that's going to hold it a lot more securely. And as you can see, the test run, it works. So I'm happy with that. I am going to go ahead and stick with the magnet idea for the swatch sheet in the Kuretake set of watercolors here. I think that's going to hold it in without a problem. So as I swatch these colors, I hope that you have something nice to drink in your hand and that you can just sit back and relax. I love watching swatching videos, and I hope you guys do too. I'm going to speed it up and keep it kind of at a comfortable pace, I think. Give me a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on these swatching videos and reorganizing art supplies. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Would you rather just watch process videos? I think it's just fun to kind of mix things up every once in a while and have a good time experimenting with your art supplies and enjoying your journey. in the end, here's what I ended up with, and I've already used these way more than I used to. So that's the good news. That objective I can check off my list. I'm using them more. That's a total win. Hey, if you've enjoyed this, come join us over on Facebook at Artsy Adventures. I would love to see what sort of art adventures you guys are up to. Find me on Instagram at InstaArtsyBits. If you're interested in my spiritual journey, the bottom right icon there, you can click and that'll take you over there, and you can subscribe to that one. Be sure you're subscribed to Artsy Bits so you don't miss any future uploads from me, and I just hope you're having a fabulous day. See you next time.